Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Kabri. As part of this post-auction IPL segments that we're doing, we've got Kolkata Knight Riders and the Lucknow Super Giants up next. Um, of course, two big teams, two teams that have taken very big calls. One in favor of a massive set of retentions, the other in letting go of some of their key players and bringing in new superstars. So, a fair bit to discuss today. We'll start off with Kolkata Knight Riders. They went very retention heavy. They kept their big names, Rinku Singh, Andre Russell, Sunil Narayan, and it's they did go very retention heavy, and they did let some big players go. I think one of the biggest names they let go is Phil Salt, and the question that they would probably have to answer is whether they've replaced the whole that Phil Salt has left. But this is what the squad looks like after the auction. The batting is as follows: it's Rinku Singh, Quinton de Kock, Rahmanullah Gurbaz, Angrish Raghuvanshi. You've got Rovman Powell, Manish Pandey, Lavneet Sisodia, and Ajinkya Rahane. The all-rounders are Venkatesh Iyer, Anukul Roy, Moeen Ali, Ramandeep Singh, and Andre Russell. The bowling is Andre Nokia, um, Vaibhav Arora, Mayank Markande, Spencer Johnson, Umran Malik, Harshit Rana, Sunil Narayan, and Varun Chakravarti. I mean, it's a team that has options, I think. Firstly, I think you have to say that this is a team that has a fair few options. They can go a number of different ways. We know the players that are going to play, the ones that they have retained. Let's just say Rinku Singh will play, Andre Russell is going to play, Varun Chakravarti is going to play, Sunil Narayan is going to play, and yeah, I can't seem to remember the last retention, but uh,
Harshit Rana.
Harshit Rana. Yeah, so so say these five are going to play no matter. That's the route they're looking at. Two foreign slots are already done in those five. Is the next foreign slot fairly obvious? Is it going to be Quinton de Kock at the top of the order to open the batting for them, Rishi? Or is it they've got another option in Ramanullah Gurbaz, who's also a wicketkeeper batter and can open the batting?
Bro, I feel they should stick at least start the season with Rahmanullah Gurbaz because he like
Mm.
whenever he had to deputize for Phil Salt, he did a more than okay job. Like I felt it was almost like a like for like replacement. Like
Mm.
of course, like Phil Salt was probably you can say better, but as close as a replacement as you can get. And like I think he fits in well also with their go all guns blazing, get a blistering start kind of philosophy that I feel he can suit in better. And I think, but then again, I think they always wanted two heavy, like two really good keepers, and I feel they've like hit the mark in that as well. So I think they should start with Rahman Gurbaz because I think he deserves that because even last season he was pretty much the second, like he was the second string keeper, and whenever he got to deputize, he did a fair enough job. So I don't think now he should again be holding the bench.
Adi, you think if you had to pick between Gurbaz and de Kock, I think that's the choice that they will have to make. Who would it be for you?
I think it's gonna just be on form. I think it's gonna be a bit tough. I think both are pretty good equally.
Gurbaz had a very good T20 World
Gurbaz,
Cup. Very good.
sorry.
I thought Gurbaz had a very good T20 World Cup in tough wickets.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I also Quinton de Kock really didn't get into the LSG side last time,
Yeah.
so I would assume they would go with Gurbaz. But it's also you can also say being playing in Eden Gardens where de Kock, if it's needed, can have a very fast start compared to someone like Gurbaz. So if they really want to, continue that aggressive style of, playing, fast knocks and going right from ball one, I think de Kock does that very well.
Mm.
So it's just going to be a matter of what, how the coaching staff looks at what style of play they want. I would I wouldn't say, Gurbaz is a spot for opening just for the fact that I do think it's going to be, you know, like they're going to be able to swap based on scenarios, based on games.
Mm.
And if the thing is, if Dickock can play well in, those conditions, which I think suit him very well, like playing in India, flat tracks, especially places like Eden Garden, he's a very dangerous player. So I still think if there's still a player in Decock, he's still a favorite to start that opening pair with Narayan. I don't know, bro. I honestly feel like it can go both ways because
That's
with
true.
Gurbaz, for me, it's like they really didn't trust him when they could have also. Like, I mean, to be fair, they had Salt, but even during that phase, it was always like they would the only way he could play is if Salt was not playing, right? So I think it's going to come down to that. If they are really looking at if they're really looking at Narayan being the second opener, I would still back Quinton de Kock to at least have a few games here or there.
Yeah, I mean, it was De Kock who went for a heavier price, 3.6 crore, as compared to you see Gurbaz was picked up at base price. Maybe there is a little more confidence in De Kock, and maybe they do start the season with De Kock. We don't know. I mean, Gurbaz has done pretty well as for Afghanistan, so it's a weird one. We're expecting De Kock or Gurbaz to open the batting with Narayan if they keep going that way. Is Rinku Singh is going to come in at 5 and probably Andre Russell at 6. So we know they're sorted till there. They probably have. You can even say Rinku Singh comes in at 5 and there's a spot at 6, and then Russell comes in at 7. So there's spot for three batters there, and you almost think Venkatesh Iyer is obviously going to be one of those. We don't know where he's going to bat. That's, I think, the biggest question mark for KKR. They bought him for a heavy price, and in excess of 20 crores for Venkatesh Iyer. He's got to bat. What do you think the role is going to be? I don't think they've paid 20 plus crores for Venkatesh Iyer to come and bat at 6. I don't think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to be either number 3 or number 4 for them and play a strong role because they've shown a lot of faith in him. Rishi, and do you expect a certain Ajinkya Rahane to come back into the fold of things? You think he plays a role at 3 and then allows Venkatesh Iyer to play at 4? Because the
Bro, I
Ajinkya
think,
Rahane we saw at CSK really did pretty well.
bro, I think like they were looking at a profile of that batsman. I think we had also earlier discussed that someone like Ajinkya Rahane will go for a huge amount, or he could play a significant role for teams, like especially teams who need a quick start, or like. So I feel like he can even come opening. To be fair, like he can, like if they chose to. I mean, unless they choose to deviate from the Narayan opening gamble. So it's pretty much going to be Narayan opening with someone else. And if
Yeah,
it's not Gurbaz, I don't see why they can't send Ajinkya Rahane opening. And also they did retain Ramandeep Singh also, so I don't think they would be
they did
making him.
retain Ramandeep Singh. Yeah.
So will he be another option? Like would they have retained him just to hold the bench again? I don't think so. At least initially they might just give him a run in the team. So
Mm.
but then like Ramandeep Singh again, he is pretty flexible. He can come towards the end as well. So I think, yeah, I agree with you in the sense that they're surely not going to pay 20, 25, north of 20 crores for Venkatesh Iyer to come in and face like say 5 to 10 balls. I think,
Exactly.
and I think
Exactly.
that they would be limiting his ability also. I think he should come higher up the order, preferably 3 or 4. So yeah, and yeah, I think Ajinkya Rahane definitely should come in and I like his experience, his I don't, yeah, like I really think he has a significant role to play for KKR.
I think Rahane also on top of everything will basically be an opener because they've said it a number of times that Sunil Narayan is a gamble. If he goes, if he gets runs, it's great. But they're almost going in with the expectation that it's okay. He's going to go in the first over. And even if that happens, they lose him in the first couple or like within the third over. You've got a very solid Ajinkya Rahane to come in at number 3 and make use of the power play situations. And then you've got Venkatesh Iyer at 4. Then the batting is the list is long because you've got Rinku Singh, Andre Russell, Ramandeep Singh. That's a very, very solid middle order. Your bowlers, then of course they come in. You've got Harshit Rana and Varun Chakravarti at the end. But you've got space for two more, right? And you're looking probably at one more seam bowling option. It's going to be Andre Nokia, or do you guys think there's a space for Moeen Ali to give little more batting and some overs with the ball? Do you think that at all is something they're considering, or Andre Nokia starts from the off? Ari, you think Nokia goes from the beginning?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I see. The thing is with the bowling, I feel like they don't really have that experience because when Nokia is not really playing for South Africa right now, and he's been very expensive, even in club cricket. Uh, if I'm not wrong, he was very expensive in the Abu Dhabi league when he played the T10. So I really don't know if Nokia is going to be a show starter there, because just for the fact that he has regress, and even Delhi weren't that keen to retain him. He's not playing much international cricket even for South Africa. So I would think when it comes to their foreign bowler, it's going to be a bit iffy. Maybe they might have to try even Spencer Johnson, see how that
Definitely.
works out for them. They might. I really don't think Moeen Ali will be in this team, just for the fact that they already have Sunil Narine, they already have Varun Chakravarti. I really don't think they really need to push for another spinner there. So yeah, I would just they have to they it's a situation where they can't do much about it. Like, I think Notya will just play based because of the fact that they don't have any other overseas bowler. It's only him and Spencer Johnson, right? So that's the thing. It depends on how they want to look at their overseas bowling. I really don't know
Mm,
if they will go with both players, because they can be flexible. If they want, they can play Gurbaz and Quinton de Kock if they
Pickwood, yeah.
really want to play like that. They have Roman Powell also. If they really want more firepower in the middle order, I feel like Powell's another good batsman to just have, in terms of finishing. So I feel like if they want, they can do that also. I really don't think that overseas bowling spot is what is going to be played every game.
Mm,
I really can't see it, because I think, to be fair, they have decent Indian bowling where, like, they can manage it with their Indian bowlers. They have Narayan, they have Rana, they have Chakravarti, they also have Russell, right? So even Amandeep Singh. So we'll have to see like what they really do when it comes to the bowling, because I really think it's very weak, and I don't know why. Is this a bowling lineup that doesn't have anything apart from the spin?
no, I mean, I think I agree also with what you're saying. You don't necessarily have to go Nokia because they can say give it to Vaibhav Arora, let him play, and you play an extra foreigner in the batting, which you can add Powell, and if you want Moeen Ali, even even if you're not going to bank on his off spin, just to give you a little more batting and give you that left-handed option, you've got him there as well. And I think overall they may not be the most explosive bowling attack, as in they're not the most reliable, but I think they've got a number of options. Even if they don't play Nokia, just look at the number of bowlers they've got. They've got just the number of all-rounders, right? Like you got Sunil Narayan, who bats and bowls, Russell bats and bowls, Ramandeep Singh can bat and bowl, Venkatesh Iyer can give you a couple of overs with the ball. So that's four
Moeen Ali.
all-rounders, right? Bro, that's a lot. Like, and just the number of
But
options.
but, but it's just quality is not there. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to
I
say,
agree.
like,
I think
they
quality is
just
the
don't have
biggest thing.
any quality in the
Yeah, they
bowling.
don't have. Yeah, I don't think the bowling quality is there. Especially, I mean, I know there was a lot made of Mitchell Stark last year, but again, we saw how he did deliver when it came to the playoffs. So that I'm talking about, like that experienced X Factor bowler. If there has to be somebody like that, I think there has to be Andrik Nokia, and if that is again if he turns up, so you just never know, right? But yeah, overall, it looks like a pretty. What do you think? Like, do you think this team can challenge for the playoff places?
Bro, to be fair, their
Bro,
pace attack isn't like too bad either. Like Harshit Rana, and to be fair, I felt Vaibhav Arora really performed well last year. Like he was hitting like all those, like even in the power play overs, he was not letting teams go after him. He was like hitting those proper line and length. He could move the ball both the ways. So, like, of course, it's a bit too soon to talk about Harshit Rana in the sense that you can't just call him experienced. You can't just be like, yeah, he has to lead the line. But I feel Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora, when you play them together, I feel they can be dependable. Of course, they're not the ideal pace lineup. They're not, like you don't have that experience, that wealth of experience. But I still feel they can, like they were disciplined enough. They can do a job. And then again, I just feel their third pace option again is a little bit because is it Norkia? Is it going to be Spencer Johnson? Will they have to depend on Umran Malik? The questions are there, but I feel this is one of those teams who can confidently, like start off with three foreigners, and based on the situations, they can just like like change with like
That's true.
chop and change whatever is needed.
Because of the amount of batting they have, I think they can easily go with three foreigners to start with. And based on how things go, you can play a Roman Powell in the next innings. You can bring in Moeen Ali if you want to the next innings. If you want to start both Gurbaz and Decock, you can do that. Like, I think it's a very They've got a lot of options. There's a lot of options, but again, the quality maybe isn't quite there. I do you trust Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora to carry you? You don't know how many overs you're going to get with Russell. That's the story with him every season in the IPL. You don't know which Russell you're going to get with the ball, especially. You can say, yeah, fairly reliable with the bat, bro, but we've seen like last season he had a great season with the ball, I thought. But how many years like that has he had with the ball? So it's a weird one. Like they don't have. I mean, of course, a lot depends on how Sunil Lara and Varun Chakravarti go. A lot depends on how Varun Chakravarti goes. I think, in particular, because he's been the one who will have an outstanding season, and then the next one he won't. So I think a lot depends on him. He's done well for India at least, like off late. Did well in South Africa. So if he does well, maybe yeah, they can really get going. Adi, you think they're a shout to win it again this year?
And, I mean, I really, dude, I don't think so. I'm sorry to say. They've lost a lot of players and they really didn't replace them. Like, the amount of players they lost their captain. I really don't know who's going to be their captain also for, captaining the side in terms of, a leader there. They lost their coach. Again, a very important, guy in the dressing room. You could see like how much he meant to them. They've lost a lot of foreign players also. They've lost Salt, they've lost Stark. They don't even have an opening bowler, in my opinion. They don't really have that, ace opening bowler. They really don't have any. They don't have much pace in that bowling lineup also. So I really can't say in terms of. I don't think they're going to be the same side.
Mm,
And you see most of these players, they have their main players. They don't play international cricket, nor do they play like for India. None of them play international cricket, and maybe only Harshit Rana. And then you look and Varun Chakravarti now, but like overall, they don't have that experience. And then you look at their foreign players also. It's not like Narayan's playing international cricket. Gurbaz is their only player who is like active and playing right now. So I think they're really lacking that players who are playing continuous T20 cricket and keeping up with the pace of the game. Like
mm.
I really don't see anyone there who's playing international cricket right now, who's playing T20 cricket right now and playing well at the moment. So it's very weird the way they try to build the squad.
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting one, KKR. Before we move on to LSG, just take this. Ishan's asking about BFC. It's slightly different topic, different conversation. Yeah, it's footballing. We're all from Bangalore, all for support BFC, apart from Adi, who loves Indian football apparently. But BFC, yeah, I'm actually following BFC. I'm watching pretty much every game. They it was a crazy 2-all draw last time out. I don't know if you guys saw it against Goa. Um, Chetri got into a fight. Don't see that too much. Boris, he got into a fight with Boris Singh in the first
When
half.
doesn't he not get into a fight?
No, but it was like a proper fight, bro. It was like a serious, like he looked like he was up for it. Like he was really up for this game. It was an insane game because yeah, we conceded in the first half and then we conceded again in the second half, and then two goals like in no time. The first one from of course Ryan Williams, um, and then the second one from Pereira Diaz. We I thought in the last 10 minutes we could nick this game, but it didn't happen. It was just a crazy game. I think BSC are doing pretty well. This was at home. Just to maintain the good form we've had at home was an important win, important draw, which I thought we could have won. 2 points away from Mohun Bagan. I think we're really in it for the league shield at least. So yes, that's on BFC. Quickly moving on to LSG. Big call to leave KL Rahul out from LSG. They've brought in Rishabh Pant. Um, Many would say it's an upgrade. I'm not one of them. I was not convinced with Rishabh Pant's performance in the IPL last year. I'm still waiting to see his best side. But this is what the team looks like. Rishabh Pant expected to be captain as well. David Miller, Aiden Markram, Aryan Juyal, Himmat Singh, Matthew Britsky, Nicholas Puran, Mitchell Marsh, Abdul Samad, Shawaz Ahmad, Yuvraj Chaudhary. You've got Rajvardhan Hungergaker. I keep getting this guy's name wrong, dude. Um, but yeah, Arshin Kulkarni. Even when he was playing at under 19 11, so hard to pronounce his name. Arshin Kulkarni, Ayush Badoni. The bowlers are Avesh Khan, Akashdeep, M. Siddharth, Digvesh Singh, Akash Singh, Shamar Joseph, Prince Yadav, Mayank Yadav, Mohsin Khan, and Ravi Bishnoi. Poof, it's It's an interesting squad, I think. First things first, Rishabh Pant over KL Rahul. Was that the right choice to make, Adi?
I mean, I think it's the same thing. I feel like both of them overall haven't done much in T20. I think obviously having Punt over KL is an upgrade, especially in T20. I really can't. I mean, I get the context of why they dropped KL Rahul. I think he also wanted to leave. It's not. I don't think it was just a. I think it was more a mutual decision compared to just being the owners or just being the management side that it was ready to drop him. I feel like if KL Rahul showed some form of interest, maybe it would have been a different conversation. But yeah, I think in the market, I think punt was the only option that they would have wanted to go for because they would have wanted a like replacement with being able to keep and also bat being a captain for the team. So I think punt was there, and I think they got him for a pretty inflated price, to what I would have thought. At first, he was surprised that he went to LSG. I thought he would have really gone to Kings 11, but after the auctions, it really looked like LSG were very desperate for him, and especially when Punjab went in first and went in big for Iyer, it seemed almost like Punt was at a point of time it seemed like Punt was going back to Delhi. So I actually thought for a second, okay, are Delhi going to go get him again? But then luckily for some reason, like they bid more than what it was, and they got him. With bro, that's the thing with him being an upgrade or not, I really don't know because it's difficult. Like I haven't seen him play much cricket overall. Like people can say he's been playing well for India, etc. But to be fair, even with the T20 World Cup, the way he started, he faded away in the T20 World Cup. In those clutch moments where it was needed and conditions favored him, he was not really able to show his playing style and his character. Even with the Test cricket going on right now in Australia, the series, he's been struggling a bit. I don't think he's been at his best, and has played okay, but I really don't think he's been able to show much. And you can see it was there before, but it's become more of a big weakness for him right now. Is the way he can't move his feet. Like he's too standing to the ground. He's not able to. Like every time he gets out, it's just the case of not being able to move his feet, be light on his toes, and that's the thing. I don't know about now, but over time, do I think it's going to get solved? I really don't know. I really even don't know if Punt wants to stay in wanted to go to LSG or like wanted to get into that side. Where to be fair, he didn't really look that excited, even when during his interviews and his introduction videos, etc. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I really don't. I wouldn't say it's an upgrade, but an upgrade, but I would not say it's a downgrade. Also, I think it's just mm, the same apple bunch. Like you either pick Rahul or like Punt. I think you're going to get almost the same thing out of both of them. So I really don't think it's a huge disparity from what they have to what they got.
Yeah, interesting one. I think in terms of foreign choices, LSG. Let's just quickly talk about that. They're very limited. They don't have the. I don't think Britsky plays because they've already got two keepers uh, in Miller, in Pant and Puran. So Puran, Pant, Puran, Miller, Mitch Marsh, and your fourth foreigner is most likely going to be Shamar Joseph. Like, or do they play without four foreigners? Is she? You think that they're a little light on foreign in the foreign department? LSG, at least the experienced players.
But I feel their batting itself is a little bit, iffy. Like
Mm.
I feel especially it's
Sorry,
going to be a
Markram as well. I missed out Markram, but yeah.
true. I feel a lot of responsibility is going to be on someone like David Miller, Nicholas Puran. Like I feel a bulk of runs are going to have to come from Pant, Miller, and Puran because they really don't have out and out dependable batsmen. Like, and as we know, Lucknow is not that easy a place to score runs as well. Like you could see batsmen struggling; they couldn't get going. And to be fair, only KL Rahul seemed to be going at a decent rate in while they played in
Who opens the
Lucknow.
batting,
So,
da? Who opens the
huh?
batting? You think for these guys? Who do you think will open the batting for them?
I don't know to be fair. Like again, I don't know who are the outright players? Who are the outright? None of them look like they are openers. Like I can guarantee Rishabh Pant, David Miller, Nicholas Puran is going to play. Like
Yeah.
the three of them as batters are going to start. Probably Abdul Samad also starts. That's
Abdul
five.
Samad starts. Yeah.
Mitch
Uh,
Marsh. Does Mitch Marsh start?
Mitch Marsh starts. They don't have foreigners. I think they keep.
Yeah, like again, like either Mitch Marsh or Aiden Markram, like because they don't have quality batsmen. So probably Aiden Markram starts as an
Yeah, yeah,
opener.
yeah, yeah. I
Like
think Markram and Marsh open the batting for them.
Markram and Marsh. That mean okay.
They don't have any openers. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, like again, like I just yeah exactly. So for this reason exactly, I feel like the established batsmen just have too much responsibility, and on the contrary, I feel bowlers they're pretty much spoiled for choices. Like you have Shabaz Ahmed, you have like that's just he's still an all rounder. You have Avesh Khan, Mayank Yadav, Ravi Bishnoi. They're all gonna pretty much play. Like Akashdeep, I think Akashdeep is also there. No,
For these guys, no, no,
yeah,
no, no Akashdeep.
yeah. I mean, anyway, these like you
No,
have
Akashdeep is there.
these.
Sorry, Akashdeep is there, but they've got a few good options.
Yeah, they've already got enough like bowlers, but I just feel like the batsmen over there are going to have too much responsibility, and I think Miller is really going to have to come clutch. And if Aiden Markram does play, I feel this is the year finally he has to step up because that team desperately needs experienced batsmen to step up. They don't have quality batsmen like depth of quality batsmen to begin with.
Again, there's a lot of like I think on like lot on the shoulders of Miller and Puran because everybody around
Mm.
them just seems a little iffy. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
going to get from Mitch Marsh, and especially playing in Lucknow, he really seems struggling.
Bro, Mitch Marsh, he's not. I don't even think he's going to give 4 overs. Like he's at
No,
best he's
no,
going to
he's
give like
not.
two.
But he can't bowl 4 overs in Test cricket. What he's going to bowl
Yeah,
4 overs?
exactly.
Like he's he's not for no chance. I mean, yeah, you're right in the sense that their batting is a little weird. Like you don't know where you're going to get runs from. If it is Marsh and Markram to open, you've got Puran, Pant, Miller, and Samad, and that's your six. That's it. If you want another batting option, you're probably looking at Shehbaz Ahmed, who'll give you some left arm spin like what Krunal Pandya did for them for so long. Probably he plays a Krunal Pandya role for them. And then you've got just the bowling to come after that. If you want Ayush Badoni, you have another Indian option in Ayush Badoni to bat. But after that, it's just the bowlers, right? You've got again, like you said, Ravi Bishnoi. If Mayank Yadav is there, he will most likely play every game. Mohsin Khan and Avesh Khan, the seam bowling looks wonderful if those three play. And you've got another, you've got Ravi Bishnoi for the leg spin, and then you have the chance to play an extra batter. And I think that's how they're going to go. I don't. It's a very, it's a very bowling heavy squad, but I think it's one of those teams that needs to play three spinners. Do you think, like in Lucknow, I think they've got to play three spinners. I think that's what worked so well for them at home. Um, But here, three spinners. Are you seeing three spinners here? Like, or Markram? Is Markram a
I
third
was
spinner?
I was about to ask where is the third spinner?
No, I think Markram, bro, because Markram has become almost like a batting all rounder. He's giving overs everywhere. Like uh, so if he can chip in and bowl a few,
No, I
I
still
don't
think
see.
they have, bro. They have. I think it's going to be, Shabazz Ahmed who's going to play. I think Bishnoi and I think M. Siddharth is going to be the third spinner because I think they really wanted him. I think they retained him also in the auction. They RTM'd him in the auction, if I'm not wrong. So I think they
Mhm.
really wanted to keep him. And he had a very good IPL last year. I think
He played
he will
three
be the third.
games. Like
Sorry?
so, he played only 3 games last year. But
Yeah, but then that's the point. I think they're going to make him play more this year just for the fact
yeah,
that they
potentially.
will want to have that extra spinning option. I,
Yeah.
I mean, they have no other choice. They really don't. I don't think Mark. See, the thing with Markham, I don't think he's going to be playing much. I, I I just think Mitch Marsh will start over him anyways. David Miller, you have David Miller, you have Puran, and I think they will have to go for someone like Shamar Joseph because he's another player they retained, and I really do believe they really wanted to like
Mhm.
use him as their foreign bowler because I don't really think they went heavy on any foreign player, especially a pace attack, just for the fact that they will try to go with him. So I think that's going to be the pace attack. Imagine going with the pace attack of Mayank Yadav. You're I wouldn't say Akashdeep again. I feel like that's somewhere they really wasted a lot of money for. Because in T20, Akashdeep has really struggled. He's not played much T20,
Yeah, I don't think
and
he's going to get too many games, Akashdeep.
but they spent heavy. Rahul, they spent around 9 to 10 crores on Akashdeep. It was not less. It was a heavy amount. So I think he's going to be the starter just for the fact that they paid a lot of money for him. Because
Mm.
if you're paying 8 9 crores for Akashdeep, you have to start him. You have no other choice. And if you're starting him, then I would still wanna keep fourth option as a foreign pacer over like Markram Marsh, because I think when it comes to batting, I think Puran is. I feel like, just me personally think Puran will open most likely. I just think that's the role he's gonna get now, because because the middle order is set, because you have players like Abdul Samad, you have players like Shabazz Ahmed, Badoni to come in. So I don't think it makes sense to keep Puran late on, right? And I think if number three, I think it's personally going to be Rishabh Pant. I think they want to just play them earlier. So, you have just your final piece coming in, because you have Miller now. You also have Shabazz Ahmed, you have Abdul Samad, you have Badoni to play. So, like, I don't really see where Pant and Puran would fit apart from coming opening and number three. I just can't see it here. Because if you have Miller coming number four, number five, like where else do these guys fit in? So I think it's going to be a case of, I would personally see Punt coming number three, and Puran mostly opens, maybe with Markram, maybe with Marsh. It's going to be just a punt between those two.
It's again very interesting. I'd be very intrigued to see LSG's batting lineup. I think in the first game, it's one of the teams that you don't know. Again, even in bowling, I think even if like Adi said, probably if you have paid so much money for Akashdeep and if you're expecting him to play, will you drop one of the three in Avesh Khan, Mohsin Khan, and Mayank Yadav? I don't know. I'm not sure. And if you are trusting Shamar Joseph to be another seamer, one of them has to go. One of
Bro,
the
thing
Indian fast
is,
bowlers has to
Vaibhav
go.
Arora is like, at least last season, unfortunately, he couldn't keep up with, like, in terms of fitness. So
Mm.
I don't think, like, they're gonna give him those many games. Also, they're
Babar
pretty much
Arora is in KKR, Rishi.
Vaibhav Arora. Oh, sorry, Mayank Yadav. My
Yeah,
bad.
Mayank Yadav.
Yeah,
Mayank Yadav.
Mayank. The
Like he
problem is
couldn't.
Mayank Yadav, he always does. I mean, his availability has always been a question mark.
Bro,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think M Siddharth, like regardless, I think will be second choice to Shahbaz Ahmed. If you're looking at your first choice left arm spinner, I still think it'll be Shahbaz Ahmed who will be your first choice. Just because he gives you that batting also. I'm not
Hmm.
saying Shahbaz Ahmed is like a quality, insanely good left arm spinner, but I think because of the batting that he gives you, he will be first choice for LSG. And then Ravi Vishnu is your only leg spinner, so he plays by default. It's a very weird and intriguing team. You guys think I don't see this team
But even
really going
Badoni
well.
balls, right? If I'm not wrong, I think he'll
Yeah,
also get
he
a bit of
does, but
shit.
he bowls off spins. But like, I mean, I think if I would say just give it to Markram, bro. Like, Markram can bowl some off spinners, and he's not bad. I'm
Markham,
honestly not
I
bad.
don't think Markham can ball, but yeah. Like, Markham's a very skiddy bowler, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think with Markram, it's a bit like a medium pacer just bowling with a shorter run up. I really, I
Bro,
would,
that's the
I think.
It's
you
fine.
just
If
you like
people use good,
you can get away with that because
you
Krunal
can get
Pandya
away
is
with
No,
it.
but
basically
he's
the
got
same thing.
smacked. Markham has got smacked in the IPL. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
Bro,
every
that
time I've
he is
seen
also
Markham ball, he
Hyderabad.
gets
I
smacked.
think these conditions will really help. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
think
if
he's also
anything, like he can get away with it like here over anywhere else. I'm
But
not
I
saying he
wouldn't
will.
see.
I'm just saying
See, the
like
point
if
is, if you're
anything,
going to give,
he can get away with it here.
for me, it's more like if you have certain conditions where, like, anyways, in IPL, most of the time you face right hand batsmen, anyways. There is no harm having two left arm spinners if it's needed. And I would rather have a proper spinner whose specialty is spinner and take advantage of the tag over like giving overs to Markram just for the sake of finishing 2 overs there. Because Markram, I still think he can get smacked on the day when it's like in a situation if it's tough and you want to you know defend a low total, especially in Lucknow. You might not know, you might have to defend very low totals, right? Because that's how it's been. I wouldn't really, if a batsman's coming and it's like, okay, 2 overs of Markram, we can get the runs here and then play out other players. Like, I think you're going to lose a lot in those 2 overs, 3 overs. How many overs you're going to bowl?
no,
Even with Marsh,
I think Markram's bowling, like people don't realize how much actually he has. He's bowled like only in T20 eyes. Markram has bowled almost 90 overs. He's not just another. I feel like he's not a Joe Root. Like you know what I'm saying. He's not like, oh, just give him the ball when
No,
nothing is
but
happening.
what's
No,
his
Joe Root is
economy
a
in
proper
T20s
bowler
like?
at this point.
No, it's 8.5, which is not bad for a sixth bowler. You know, like he's not going to bowl every game, or a seventh bowler almost. Markram is. Especially in Lucknow, I think he'll be useful. That's the only thing. Like maybe not anywhere else, but here he wouldn't be too bad. I think as an option. But
I
yeah,
mean, see, that's my point. And my point is, if you're gonna go into a match where you're defending a very low total, and if you have to like, if for example, in T20s, it's like if there's 2 overs where you can score for, there is a possibility where you can score 20 to 40 runs easily. Like if it's just Markram, where like teams come and be like, okay, let's go aggressive on him, and the other spinners, if because they're so good, we might have to play them out. For me, first of all, they haven't really gone heavy on spin, especially if for example 2 years we've seen them having a pretty spinner friendly track. I really can't believe they really didn't go in and build a squad around proper spinners there, if that's how they really wanted to go into it. So right now, even with Shabazz Ahmad, I don't think he's the biggest quality spinner out there. So like I feel like playing Shabazz and then on top of that having Makram, I think it's like you're just digging a hole deeper than already. Because like I don't think you're gonna get much out of Makram. Just me personally.
I mean, just in terms of economy, his economy in the IPL is also not too bad for a part-time spinner, 8.5. Um, but yeah, like there's I think it'll be interesting to see how they use him. I think it'll just be interesting to see how LSG go about it. You know, it's a very fascinating team. It'll be a very interesting team. Just me personally, I don't see them really competing. They just look short like in a bunch of areas, and I'm just not sure what we're going to get from everyone else other than Puran. Puran's probably the only guy I can say 100% that he looks like he's in good touch and he'll perform. So we're on with LSG, but that's where we stand. That's where we stand with LSG and KKR. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do like and share the videos. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Sports Kabri, and we'll be back with the last couple of teams left as part of these post auction segments. See you.